In this video, I'm going to take a look at multitasking on the iPad. In this particular video, we're going to look at multitasking on an older iPad. I have an iPad Air. Now, why am I going to show you on an older iPad? Well, the older iPads have slower processors, so they're not able to use all of the new multitasking features that the iPad has to offer. I know there are a lot of older iPads out there, so if you have an older iPad, such as an iPad Air, you want to take a look at this video so you can see exactly what you can do with multitasking. Now, if you have a newer iPad, such as an iPad Pro or an iPad Air 2, what you want to do is you want to take a look at the next video. You have a lot more features available with multitasking with newer iPads due to the faster processors. But if you have an older iPad, don't worry, you can still do limited multitasking. We can use slide over. Let's take a look at slide over on an older iPad. Let's go to my iPad. So I'm looking at my iPad here, and let's go and open up Safari. I'm looking at my website. Now, let's say I was listening to music, and what I want to do is I want to change the music that I'm listening to. Well, we can do this with slide over. We can open up the music app on top of Safari here. In order to do that, what we do is we swipe up from the bottom to show our dock, and then we go over to the music app. Now what I do is I tap and hold on it and then drag it on top of Safari. When I do that, you're going to see it's going to open up as a slide over. So I tap and hold, I drag it up, and you can see we have my music app here. And when I let go, what it's going to do is it's going to open it up as a slide over on top of Safari. So let's go ahead and let go. And now we can see it is open on top of Safari. From here, what I can do is I can play any of my music. Once I am finished, all I have to do is just hide the slide over. To hide it, we go over to the left edge and drag it to the right, and now I'm back in Safari. I want to show the slide over again. I go over to the right edge here, drag it to the left, and now I'm looking at my slide over. So what's different, being that this is an older iPad? Well, if you have a newer iPad, you're also able to interact with Safari at the same time. I cannot do that, being that this is an older iPad, because the processor just isn't powerful enough. But what I can do is I can go and quickly look for music I want to play it, and then go and hide it. Let's say I wanted to look at my Files app. Again, I swipe up from the bottom. I go over to my Files app, tap and hold, and drag it over to the right edge. And there's my Files app. Now I can search for a file. I want to move this over to the left edge. We go up to the top here, and I drag it over to the left. I want to hide it. I go over to the left edge here and drag it all the way over to the right, and now it is hidden. I want to show it again. I swipe over to the left from the right edge, and I have my slide over again. If I wanted to open up my mail, I'd be able to open it up as a slide over. So that's how we multitask on an older iPad. We basically can use slide over. If you have a newer iPad, what we can do is we can also use split view and slide over at the same time. But being that this is an older iPad, I can only do one at a time. But it's still pretty helpful. Again, let's say I got a mail message. I open it up as a slide over, interact with my mail, hide it, and I'm back in Safari. I no longer have to go to the home button, go to my home screen, and open up mail. I can just open it up as a slide over. So that's how we use slide over on older iPads. All we have to do is just swipe up to show our dock, and then we tap and hold and drag the app that we want to open up as a slide over. We drag it to the left side or the right side. When we are finished, we just go and hide it by dragging from the left edge of our slide over to the right, and then we're back in our original app. We can only interact with one app at a time. So if we have a slide over open, we can only work with that slide over app. If we want to work with the app in the background, in my case it was Safari, what I'd have to do is I'd have to hide that slide over, and then I can work in Safari. But it does give us an easy access to working with other apps. Again, we just show our dock, go to the app we want to open up as a slide over, tap and hold on it, and then drag it on top of our other app. So that's how we can multitask by using slide over on older iPads.